Everyone. So today we are going to be talking about Ranelle Rose Bennett, and hers is really sad. It involves, um, well, her children are fine. Her children are fine, but she does have children, and we'll just get into it. It's really sad when she went missing. Uh, and all of the links that I used for research will be down below, like always, as will a number if you have tips. I'm not seeing. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing the number. Uh, and I will have that on the screen towards the end and in the description, like I said. And I have quite a bit of information on this case, more than I do on some of my other ones. There was just quite a bit, not necessarily about her, um, but from the family and their interviews and stuff. So, let's go ahead and talk about Ranelle. So, Ranelle has been missing since June 15th, 2021, from Hogback, New Mexico. She is classified as endangered missing. She was born on May 1st, 1988, which means she is 34. She is 5'2" and 125 pounds. She was last seen wearing an orange tank top and black sweatpants. She is a Native American female with black hair and brown eyes. She is an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation. She has a tattoo of the name Tristan on the inside of her right forearm and a tattoo of the letter B behind her left ear. Her ears are pierced and her nickname is Tiny. So she was last seen by her mom at her mom's residence in Hogback. She has two children. Both of them lived with her mother at the time of her disappearance, but she called and texted them every day and had never gone an extended a period of time without seeing them. On the day she was last seen, she went to her mom's to discuss her daughter's upcoming birthday party. When she left, she hugged her mom for a long time and appeared to be crying, which her mom found odd. So that's the little heartbreaking tidbit that I was talking about. Her daughter's birthday was coming up when she went missing. So she never showed up for the party, which everyone said was uncharacteristic of her behavior, and her mom was unable to get in touch with her. Her mom filed a missing persons report on June 21st. For unclear reasons, the report wasn't entered into the law enforcement database for days. 3 months after she went missing, her family found her shoes and sweater in North Shiprock and turned them over to police to be processed for evidence, but it's unknown if this led to any leads. There have been no other indicators of her whereabouts. She has not been found, and neither has any of her other items. So it's kind of looking like maybe she was in Shiprock, or whoever did this to her had her items and disposed of them around or in Shiprock. At the time she went missing, she was dating a man named Kendall KJ Johnson, and they had been seeing each other for about a month. In July 2021, Johnson and 5 others were arrested as they were suspects in a slew of Shiprock crimes such as home invasions and auto theft. Johnson initially escaped the police pursuit and wasn't arrested until the 16th. It's not clear whether or not he is a suspect in Ranelle's case, but it would just make sense that he would be, because he was her partner, even for a short time. But the fact that her missing persons information wasn't entered in the database for days, I don't think that the police are extremely intelligent or even care that much, if I'm being completely honest. They seem pretty negligent just for that alone. So going on, we have a quote, and it's from her mom. And she says, "She was a sweet girl, a sweet lady to her kids, and she took care of them." When she didn't make it to her daughter's birthday party, her daughter kept texting her saying, "Mom, remember it's my birthday today." And she kept looking out to the road and she kept wanting to see her mom. That is so heartbreaking. I will have photos of Ranelle and her mom and as well as her kids on the screen. Um, so they're pretty old enough. They have a phone obviously to talk to their mom, so they know that their mom just disappeared. It wasn't like they were super young and had no idea what happened. It's just really heartbreaking because it's your birthday and your mom disappeared and you can't get a hold of her. You don't know why she's not there. You're like, is she just not coming? It's so heartbreaking. I can't imagine just being the grandma and seeing your granddaughter looking out to the road just wanting her mom, all the while your mom is missing. I can't imagine that. That is just so sad. So the mom called the police about the missing report, and she said, 2 days later, I went to the criminal investigator here in Shiprock, and I just talked to him over the phone. He said this was new to him and that he didn't know anything about it. End quote. After that, she says, police answers were very few. And then another quote, she says, I kept calling in the police department and finally they just got tired of me. Sometimes I would just go in and try to wait until an officer came in and they'll say he's out, end quote. Which I can understand if you don't have anything for the mom, but still at least humor her. At least say, hey, you don't have anything, we're still looking. You don't have to be like, oh, he's not here. Like, that is disgusting and despicable. Like, she lost her daughter, like, her daughter is missing. Take the fucking time to just answer her questions. I don't know how hard that is for police. I really don't. Okay, I'm getting on my soapbox, so we're gonna move on. So, Gerald Hampson, which is Rose's brother, says he spends his days and nights searching for her. He says, I miss her. Just her laughter and her smile, the stuff she says. It makes me laugh. Before she went missing, he lived in Colorado, but after she vanished, he moved to Shiprock to help aid in the search for her. And he says, I check on tips or whatever somebody calls. I think, we've seen her here. If you check this place, and I will leave and I will go. End quote. So he's very hands-on. He left his own life in Colorado just so he could come out and help find his sister, which, oh my god, I feel so horrible for this family. So Janelle is her sister, and she says her disappearance has had the worst impact on the children in the family, including her young son, because he was an auntie's baby. But it's the worst for her own two children. She says they'll get sad. They'll just sit there, and we always try to keep them happy, try to keep it off their minds. End quote. So those were some quotes from her family. And that is the information I have for you. I could find nothing about what the police were actually doing, which is probably nothing, considering the way, just by her mom's quotes alone, how they're acting towards the family. I can't imagine they're actually doing anything worthwhile. I've heard New Mexico police actually fucking suck. Sorry for my language. I heard that they suck and they don't really do much. So I could find nothing. I didn't know how they were searching. I know the family, of course, has been doing their own searching, and it's sad that they even have to be the ones doing it, like the police should be doing it. I could find nothing about what the actual police were doing. There was nothing. Other than her family finding some of that stuff in North Shiprock, like her sweater and whatnot, and turning it over, there's just nothing else about the case. Most of this was just the family talking about what the police are not doing, and you can tell they are not doing a lot. And it's pathetic. This family, those children, deserve so much more than what they're being given. And like I say in a lot of my videos, just to be fair, maybe the police have been doing stuff. Maybe they just wanted to protect the integrity of the case and they're not even giving the family information, because I know they've done that in cases before, not necessarily this department, but just police in general. Maybe they've done stuff and they're just not releasing it. To be fair, that could be an option. But the way that they handled it from the very beginning, from her information, Rose's information, not being entered into the database for days, not giving the family answers, um, it doesn't make it seem like they seem uncaring is what I'm trying to say. And I can't imagine that they found anything, because I don't believe they've done anything to find anything, and that is so sad. So that was Ranelle's case. Still on the shorter side, but more information than I usually have. It makes me really sad that we don't have any actual nothing about searches or anything like that. I know the family has been there doing their own, which is amazing, and I hope that one day they will find her some way, somehow, and they are able to bring her home. And if something happened to her, I hope they get justice, and I hope the police will step up and do what they should be doing and help find Ranelle, because she needs to come home and be with her family. I will say that something felt really weird to me. So in the beginning, I kind of said when she was last seen, she was at her mom's house, and her mom said she seemed like she had been crying, and she gave her mom a really long hug, and that makes me feel weird because she said it was just odd. So apparently that's not something, whether or not she cries a lot or gives her long hugs, is something that she doesn't really do, and that feels weird to me. Like, it could be something completely unrelated, but did something happen to her earlier that day that could have led to her disappearance? Could have been something to do with Kendale. He has a crime streak. So yes, home invasion stuff, but who's to say he couldn't get more violent and have done something to Ranelle? And to me, if I had to think of who could be a suspect, it would be Kendale, just because he already has a criminal history. He strikes me as someone, and I would have hoped that if they are doing a proper investigation, they would have talked to him. Um, but those are my thoughts. He, to me, would be the standout suspect, but it could be something completely different. Maybe she did just leave her life behind. Maybe she was having a hard time with something, and that's why she was crying and giving her mom a long hug like she would never hug her again. But I also can't imagine, because she came to talk about her daughter's party, I can't imagine she would just leave her children behind. So I honestly don't know what to make of this case. I feel myself being pulled in multiple directions, but I do think something sinister could have happened. I just don't know what. So let me know what you guys think down below. If there are any more updates in this case, I will obviously update you guys when the time comes. But I will have the number on the screen to submit tips, as well as in the description with all the links that I used for this case's research. And I will see you guys in the next video. The next video I'm doing um, is going to be like a mini cases video with a few different people. But that is going to be it for Ranelle's case today. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.